I want to find the average. So, way used to find the average is known as mean of group data or mean of given data. To find out the arithmetic mean, I'm going to have the symbol x bar. So this is nothing but the arithmetic mean. Ui is nothing but di divided by h. That is nothing but xi minus a divided by h. Hello to all, a warm welcome to my new session on third unit, and the chapter name here is Statistical Methods. I am your Revati ma'am, faculty from the Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. So dear student, before going to start my today's session, let me to recall the topic what I have discussed in my last session. So dear student, in my last session, I started with frequency distribution. So what is frequency distribution? In the given set of data, I want to identify how many times the particular data is present or not. For example, consider the data like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is nothing but the collection of numbers. Now, I want to identify how many times 1 appeared, how many times 2 present, and how many times 3 present. So, here 1 is present at 2 times, 2 times, 3 2 times. So, here frequency distribution is nothing but the way used to identify the occurrence of a number. Under this frequency distribution, I have explained how to find the frequency distribution. That is nothing but tabular format as well as pictorial. There is nothing but the graph representation. Along with that, I have discussed group data, ungroup data, frequency distribution. There is nothing but the continuous frequency distribution as well as cumulative frequency distribution. But in my today's session, I am going to deal with mean of group data. So here group data in the sense what all the data are grouped under certain range. Now let's see what is mean. So dear student, think that I have the numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now 1 plus 2 it is 3. 3 plus 3 6. 6 plus 4 10. 10 plus 5 it is 15. Fine. Now 15 divided by 5. So it is 3. So dear student, I want to find the average. So way used to find the average is known as mean of group data or mean of given data. So mean of group data is a data set. See here, these numbers are nothing but the data set by aggregating individual observation of a variable into different groups. So here it is group data. So I want to group the data into different group. For example, I want to write the range 1 to 3. Now 4 to 5. So this is nothing but the range of the data. Group data is a data that is grouped together in different categories. So here data are grouped into 2 different categories, that is 1 to 3 and 4 to 5. Mean is considered as the average of the data. So whatever the data I have, I want to find the average, that is known as mean. Now let's see what is mean of group data. So mean of group data is the process of finding the average of a set of data that are grouped together in different categories. For example, think that I have 1 to 5. Next, 6 to 10. 10 to 15. So, here the data which comes under first category, that is 1 to 5, appears twice. Next, the data comes under second category, that's nothing but 6 to 10 is appear 2 times. Now, the data which comes in the third category, that is 10 to 15, appears 3 times. Okay, fine. Now, 2 plus 2 plus 3, what's the answer? 7. 7 divided by 3. So, because I have 3 set of data, so 7 divided by 3. And whatever the answer I'm going to get, that is nothing but the average. To determine the mean of group data, a frequency table is required. Once again, to find the mean of given data, I'm going to use frequency table. In the sense, whatever the data set I have, I'm going to represent that in the form of table. Now, let's see what are the different methods is used to find out mean of group data. That is, first one, direct method. Next one, assumed mean method. And third one is step deviation method. So, what are the 3 methods? Direct method, then assumed mean method, then step deviation method. Now, dear student, the mean of the average. Here, mean is nothing but the average, or I want to find out the central tendency, or I want to calculate the central value, and that is known as central tendency of the data. So, dear student, average is nothing but the central tendency or central value of the data. So, here, see, I have the data that ranges from x1 to xn. Now, I want to find the arithmetic mean. That is nothing but the arithmetic average. Okay, so to find out the arithmetic mean, I'm going to have the symbol x bar. So, this is nothing but the arithmetic mean. Now, dear student, let me to write the formula here. So, arithmetic mean equal to sigma, that is summation of fi divided by n. So, this is the formula used to find out mean. So, here x bar is nothing but the mean value of the data, whereas f is nothing but the frequency of the individual data, and n is nothing but the sum of the frequency. Now, I'm going to have the method used to calculate mean of the data. One is direct method, another one is assumed mean method, and another one is step deviation method. Let's see direct mean method. So, dear student, in direct mean method is the most common and simplest method is used to find the mean of given group data. And see here, think that I have the data set x1 to xn with the corresponding frequency value f1 to fn. Now, I want to find out mean. So, here mean is nothing but data into frequency. So, first data, first frequency. Second data, second frequency. Until frequency n and frequency x divided by frequency 1 to frequency n. Now, if I represent this one in terms of mathematical mean, then summation of xi into fi divided by summation of fi. So, where I ranges from 1 to n. Now, dear student, I am going to have the example here. So, here, this is the first question, find the mean of the following data. And I have the class interval because this is group data. Okay, so I have the class interval 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, as well as 40 to 50. At the same time, I'm going to have the frequency 9, 13, 18, 15 and 10. Okay, fine. Now, to find out mid value, what I want to do, I want to consider the class interval. For example, 0 plus 10, it is 10, 10 divided by 2. So, answer is 5. Okay, next time 10 plus 20, it is 30, 30 divided by 2, it is 15. See here. So, here first, this is my class interval, then this is nothing but my frequency. Okay, now I want to find out the mid value. So, 0 plus 10, it is 10, 10 divided by 2, it is 5. I got 5. Next time, 10 plus 20, it is 30, 30 divided by 2, it is 15. Next time, 20 plus 30, 20 plus 30, it is 50 divided by 2, so 25, and it's going to continue. Okay, now according to the formula, what I want to do, I want to find the summation of xi into fi. Before that, I want to calculate fi into xi. So, I'm going to multiply 9 into 5, 45, 13 into 15, 195, 18 into 25, 200, 15 into 35, 525, 10 into 45, 450. And I want to add all these. So, I want to find the summation. So, what is the summation here? That is 1415. Okay, now I am going to write the formula and I am going to substitute the value. And see, what is summation of Fi? So, summation of frequency is nothing but 55. So, here 1415 divided by 55. So, I am going to get the answer 25.73. So, what is the mean here? That is 25.73. Now, dear student, I am going to have another method that is known as assumed mean method. So, dear student, in the direct method, we know that observations and the corresponding frequency. In the assumed mean method, okay, we have to assume the mean. But in the direct method, I am going to focus observation as well as corresponding frequency. But in the assumed mean, what I am going to do, I am just going to assume the frequency as well as observation. Now, let us assume that A is any assumed number. Okay, so A is nothing but the any assumed number which the deviation of the observation is di equal to xi minus A. So, what is A here? A is nothing but just a observation or assumed number. Substituting this in this direct method formula. Okay, so I'm going to substitute this one in direct method formula. And when I simplify, I'm going to get the answer A plus di into fi bar fi. Okay, fine. Now, let me to consider the example here. So, find the mean of the following data. So, same example I'm going to consider here. Now see here. I have the class interval as well as frequency and I have the midpoint. Now, okay, x1, that is xi minus A. This is the example for assumed mean. Okay, and by seeing this one or by seeing this mid value, I want to assume the mean. See here, which is the assumed mean I can consider, which is A here. So, which is the mid value I can consider here? 25. Okay. So this is the mid value. So A is nothing but 25. Now xi minus A. Xi is nothing but the mid value. So 5 minus 25, it is minus 20. Next time 15 minus 25, 10. Next time 25 minus 25, 0. Next time 35 minus 25, 10. Next time 45 minus 25, it is 20. Okay, and when I multiply this to 5 into minus 20, okay, that is minus 240. Now 15 into minus 10 minus 150. 25 into 0, it is 0. Now 35 into 10, 350, and 45 into 20, it is 400. And when I perform summation of Fi into Di, I am going to get the answer 260. And what is the summation of Fi? That is 82. Now I have the assumed mean formula A plus sigma Di into Fi divided by sigma Fi. So 25 plus 260 divided by 82, I'm going to get the answer 28.17. So here, therefore, the assumed mean for the given data is 28.17. Now, dear student, I'm going to have the step deviation method. So, in the step deviation method, it is a method is used when the deviation of the class marks from the assumed mean are the larger and they all have a common factor. So, dear student, in my step deviation method, I'm going to use the common factor. In the sense, I'm going to find out the number which is multiplied by the particular number. Let us consider the class size to be h. So what is the class size here? That's nothing but h. And the assumed mean is nothing but A. Using the same formula in the assumed mean method. So Di equal to xi minus A. In the assumed mean, we are going to use the formula Di equal to xi minus A. Now, by using this one, I want to find out step deviation method. So here, ui equal to Di divided by h. So h is nothing but the class size. So where h is nothing but the width and D is nothing but xi minus A. So A is nothing but assumed mean. Now, dear student, I am going to have the formula here. See here. A plus a step deviation method. So it is h sigma ui fi divided by summation of fi. So here A is nothing but assumed mean. Then what about h? H is nothing but the class size. U is nothing but Di. So here Di is nothing but xi minus A divided by h. So dear student, here ui is nothing but Di divided by h. That is nothing but xi minus A divided by h. Now, dear student, I am going to have some of the example problems. That is, example 1. There are 40 students in grade 8. The marks obtained by the student in mathematics are tabulated below and calculate the mean marks. So, dear student, I have the marks obtained and number of students. Now, dear student, see here, the total marks of the student in grade A is 40. Okay, so here when I add all this, 10 plus 8, it is 18. 18 plus 6, it is 24. 24 plus 9, it is 33. 33 plus 7, it is 40. So what is the total marks? It is 40. Now, x1 is 100, x2 is 95, x3 is 88. Okay, x4 is nothing but 76 and x5 is nothing but 69. And if I consider the frequency distribution, F1 is 6, F2 is 8, F3 is 10, F4 is 9, F5 is nothing but 7. Okay, now when I multiply, that is x1 into F1, 100 into 6, 600. F2 into x2, 95 into 8, 760. x3 into f3, 88 into 100, 880. Okay, and it's going to continue. Now, dear student, I want to find out the summation here. Okay, and when I find out summation of f1 into x1 to fi into xi, that is nothing but 3407. And when I find out the summation of frequency, it is 40. So dear student, I can able to construct the table for this data, or I can able to use this method. Suppose if I am constructing the table, okay, first I want to write the marks obtained, then frequency f, then summation of xi into fi. Okay, and fill the values. Okay, so dear student, this is the way also I can able to find the solution, or I can able to follow this method. Now, dear student, see what is the formula? X bar equal to summation of fi into xi divided by fi. So it is 3407 divided by 40. What is the answer? 85.175. Therefore, the mean of the given data is 85.175. Now, dear student, let me to consider another example here. Find the mean percentage of the work completed for a project in a country where the assumed mean is 50. So A is nothing but 50. The size of the class is nothing but 20. Frequency is 100 and the product of the frequency and deviation is nothing but minus 42. Solve this by using step deviation method. Now, dear student, see here, A is nothing but 50. So, that's nothing but assumed mean. Height is nothing but 20. Frequency Fi is nothing but 100. Fi into Ui is nothing but minus 42. Okay, by using step deviation method, so what is the formula? A plus H summation of ui into fi divided by summation of fi. So 50 plus 20 minus 42 divided by 100. And when I simplify this one, I'm going to get the answer 41.6. Therefore, the mean percentage is 41.6. So, dear student, let me to consider another question here. The marks obtained by 80 students in a class test are 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 10, 11. and 19. Use the mean formula and find out what is the mean of the marks obtained by the student. So dear student, I have 8 students. Okay. And what are the marks? I have 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 10, 11 and 19 respectively. Okay, now what I want to do, I want to add all these values together. So what is the value? It is 120. And to find out mean of a given number, that is mean equal to summation of, that is sum of observation divided by total number. So what is the sum? That is 120 divided by 8. So what is the average mark? It is 15. So the mean of marks obtained by 8 students is 15. Anyway, dear student, in my today's session, I started with arithmetic mean. Along with that, I have discussed the 3 types of arithmetic mean. In the sense, the 3 ways used to find out arithmetic mean, that is assumed mean, direct mean method as well as step deviation method. But in my next session, I am going to deal with arithmetic mean once again. So dear student, in my next session, I am going to deal with arithmetic mean. Until that, keep watching and keep learning. Thank you.